Hey guys, let us all know where you're tuning in from around the world, because this is going to be a good live stream. Wow, hey guys, Terence and Paul here, and we've made the trip across the pond.
Oh yeah. Where are we here? Oh, look at that.
To be honest with you, I don't know. It said somewhere in Holland when they dropped us off. So
it was a good flight. It was a good flight, nice and smooth. Good landing.
Yeah, for sure, man, for sure. Anyway, guys, we're here today because the Trident is escaping North America. Okay.
It's flown the coop.
Yep, it's finally getting across the pond, as they say, or the ponds, because we're talking about everywhere outside North America, right?
We're talking about the EU. We're talking about the UK, Australia, Middle East, everywhere.
But what is
Asia,
the Trident, Paul?
The Trident. Well, I mean, have you been living underneath a rock?
Yeah, no kidding. The Blarney Stone.
Yes, yes.
So absolutely, we've had the Trident out for a long time now, and it's been well received. Actually, the demand on it has far exceeded our expectations.
Right.
And then our expectations of it's just crazy.
Yes. I mean, in terms of what this product has been for Neptune Systems, in terms of a demand, I do think back to my early years at Neptune Systems, right? Circa 2011, where, we would have a 6-8 week backlog just on Apex systems.
Right.
Right. And the industry was very small at that time in terms of automation and things like that. And the numbers weren't all that much.
Or like in 2012, 2013, when I was yelling at you, where are the systems?
Where are the systems? And you would watch me on the video making things happen. You remember? It was
Yes.
a good times. We've grown a lot since then, and the quantities on the Trident are pale in comparison.
Yeah.
And it's
been pretty astounding. It's so astounding we had to put it on this rotating display here, Paul.
Yes.
Just for effect.
So we do see a Trident here, followed by a 2-month reagent kit.
Yep.
That's
so it came out in May. It came out in May of last year.
Yes.
Which is a long time ago, and given what's happened in 2020 now, it seems like an eternity
Right.
since then. But our intent all along, like with many of our products, is to release outside North America, usually about 4 to 6 months after we release the product here.
And that was our goal, even with the Trident. Our
Yes.
goal was to be at 4 or 6 months, we would be releasing the Trident. We're about 11 months behind that goal right now.
Well, so the demand was crazy, and it continued all through 2019, and we could hardly keep up with what was happening here, and so time moved on, and after we came to the beginning of this year, we're like, okay, we're going to start building up inventory. We'll figure out a way. We'll cut back on the U.S. people a little bit.
and while also increasing production.
Yes.
Right? So this entire time, as you've seen Tridents come out here in the
Even
US,
in recent months.
Right? We have been continually growing production. Even COVID happened. It was still a priority, right? To make sure that we were, building as much as possible.
Well, that's the thing. And then COVID hit right at literally we had to close down our offices like 2 weeks before we had planned on launching this in North America.
We were literally building them at that time.
Yeah.
And then COVID hit.
Yep.
Neptune Systems was closed, I believe, for 5.5 weeks, if I'm not mistaken.
Completely shut down.
No one was in the office. No one was building anything. To kind of backtrack, we had to send out everything we could literally hours before shutdown happened in California. We got it out as much to our U.S. dealers, and at that point, the international Trident launch had to be put on hold.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely. And people obviously are very passionate about these things.
Yes.
And so we've been hearing about it and hearing about it and hearing about it. And some of them had kind of a little bit escaped in other places around the world. But for the most part, nobody in the world has been able to have them as of yet. But that has changed.
Yes.
Okay?
So it is changing literally as we speak right now.
Yes.
There are already Tridents at your Neptune Systems dealers across the pond.
They started escaping like 2.5 weeks ago.
Yeah,
2 or 3 weeks ago they started escaping.
And time out. Thank you for keeping that quiet, dealers. You did a great job. Our U.S. dealers could learn a few things.
This is true. It's hard to keep a secret. It's hard to keep things down, and I'm sure it wasn't a perfect secret, but we definitely didn't get people beating down the doors of everybody. But at this point, we know that we have them in Europe.
Yep.
We know that we have them, I think they're in the UK.
I believe that DeYoung Marine Life.
Look at this! I just jumped us to the UK.
Oh, look at that!
Look at that!
Never been here before.
Some of our people from over there in the UK probably recognize this BBC show. They'll probably talk about it. But so they've gone to the UK. They've gone to all around Europe. Where else have they gone?
They are still in transit in Australia, so they have not yet arrived at our distributor in Australia. It moved really quick.
But they're through customs?
It's through customs, which is the scary part.
Yes. You never know what's going to happen
Australian customs. So it's on the way to our dealer in Western Australia, Aqua Depot, and it should be in those dealers' hands probably next week, I would imagine.
Right.
So we have things like that.
And we have some going to Israel. We have them
going to Israel. We have them going to UAE, United Arab Emirates. We already have some in Singapore. DE Aquatic.
I don't have that image. So
yeah, we do have some in Singapore. DE Aquatic has those there.
Okay.
And our other international dealers are going to be coming online in Brazil. They're going to be coming online in other parts of Asia. It's all happening.
Yep, absolutely. Look, we've got Paul Hughes from AAC out there in the UK. Says he has them now in stock there. Paul has an awesome shop there in London.
I've heard good things.
Oh, he gets some fish in there that are absolutely amazing. He probably knows what this backdrop is here. It's League of Gentlemen, I think is the name of the show.
Okay.
I just happened to look it up.
I think I saw, wasn't there a movie remake of that? I fell asleep during it.
I think so. I don't know if that was the same thing or not.
I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway, so they are overseas. They are in stores now. Available tomorrow. Tomorrow is the official launch day.
August 1st is the official launch day to Saturday.
So that's all the good news, okay? Some of the news that may not be so great is that the supply will likely be short of the demand all around the world as it was here in the U.S. and still continues to be honest.
And just like it is in the United States, the demand is the supply still does not meet the demand.
Right.
You still do not have Tridents sitting on the shelf for days or
Right.
hours or even hours for that matter.
Oh yeah,
right?
no, I think now they go just about a day. Every shipment that goes to BRS lasts for about a day.
Marine Depot, the other online dealers, local fish stores now, do have them on their shelves.
Correct.
Typically for a day or two.
That is true.
If they don't have a buyer already lined up. But it is, and the reason why the demand remains so high is because people are having great experiences with the product. Right, the product works, and
has very, very few problems.
Right.
It's super easy to set up, and again, for those that don't know, it tests your alkalinity, your calcium, and your magnesium. Has a great precision to it. It's easy to change out all the reagents. You don't have to mix stuff up. You don't have to, it's got a great user interface. It's simple to use. And one of the best things that people are finding all around the world, myself included, is when you bundle the testing with some operation that you have on your system, whether it be most people using Trident controlled dosing to your dose, or if you're using it with a calcium reactor, there are ways to do that and to throttle your calcium reactor with it. They're just having their reefs absolutely explode. I mean, I cut my reef like 2 weeks ago, was it?
I know,
it was about 2 weeks ago. I cut it all off. I went down there this morning, or went over to the tank this morning, and all the big cuts and everything just already started to blossom.
They get spots and everything in terms of white. It's growth. And
anyway, so that's I attribute a lot of that to the stability that the Trident has given.
Your tank has been on the Trident, I believe, since
it's like 2 years.
January, I think, of last year, of 2000.
No. It was, I think, right. It's about, I guess it's about 18 months.
And the point that I heard you, for lack of a better word, complaining about
about
how much cutting you had to do, right? I didn't necessarily hear a lot about that until probably about the middle or beginning part of last year.
Right. And I mean, before that, the reason I got confused is I had one of the prototype units on the tank before I had the real Trident on there. So
I know.
I've been doing the monitoring for a long time. But anyway, so, one of the things, what's the next thing people want to know? I think they want to know probably how much this thing is going to cost, right? So in Europe, it's going to be about 750 euros.
Okay.
And in the UK, that's the recommended retail price. And in the UK, it's going to be 695 pounds sterling.
Okay.
I hope I got that right.
And we do do our best. We make the dealer price as competitive as they possibly be, but there's a lot of things contributing to that price. There's the VAT, right, which you guys have.
Yeah, that is inclusive of VAT.
That is inclusive of VAT, right? The shipping of the Tridents, internationally speaking, is expensive, Terence. And the big part of that is the reagents, right? The reagents must ship from Neptune Systems.
I mean, it's a decent-sized box, too,
by air, right?
You see, this is the beautiful box that they come in, and so they take up a lot of space on the pallet, and they weigh a pretty good amount as well.
Each Trident weighs about 7.5 pounds. Each reagent kit weighs about 3.2 pounds, if I had to be exact. And
as if you didn't know.
If I didn't know that, and we do need to ship those by freight air, right? So and they don't ship by ocean, so that all contributes a lot to the shipping.
This also means because of the high shipping costs and whatnot, there won't be 6-month reagents overseas.
Just like here in the U.S., we don't have 6 months available. We're not going to have 6 months available overseas. I don't know if we will ever have 6 months available.
That's correct. We don't know for sure. I mean, they have to be shipped by air.
Yes.
They're temperature sensitive. There's also a sell-by date on on the units as well. So there's a whole issue with channel and channel longevity. So but the reagents are available. We do require the distributors to purchase enough reagents along with every Trident that they purchase, so that customers there won't be a situation where the reagent will not be available. Right,
and that's biggest priority with this product is to always make sure that if you want to continue running it like you likely do, there will be reagents available for that. So
we got a good question here. I don't know if we're up to there yet, but let's just jump right to it. Okay.
Me up, great.
It says, without new EB832, how does it hook up the Trident?
All right. So first thing off, right, in the U.S. version, there's only one difference between the U.S. version and the international version, and that in the U.S. cable, okay, that is a cable that basically is inclusive of communication and power. Okay, one cable kind of to rule them all, and then but in our international markets, the one-link ports are not as available, and they're not available because we have the EB832 here and the international energy bar, which does not have a one-link port included. We hear you. Okay, we're working on it. Maybe, okay? Maybe. but we hear you. Let all the comments happen. It's fine. So, in the international version of the Trident, there is an Aquabus cable included. I have a 3-foot here, but a 6-foot is included.
Right.
Okay. And you get an international power supply. Right, the international power supply in our EU and UK markets are going to come with Schuko and UK plugs. Okay, just snap them on, and then the Australian variant, which is different than the other ones, comes with the Australian plug. Right, so if for some reason you were to purchase a EU UK one in Australia, guess what? You're going to need to get an adapter for that.
Okay.
If you purchase in Australia, you'll be taken care of in Australia. If you purchase in the UK, EU, you'll be taken care of that. And then those in those mixed markets, right, where you have all sorts of weird different plugs, those ones, Schuko will almost always work. If that doesn't work, the UK will probably work.
Okay.
So that is how we take care of the one-link situation, and we thought ahead about all of that when we, developed the Trident. It
Right.
has Aquabus and power input on it, not just a one-link port. And in all of the setup and installation and everything else, whenever we talk about a one-link cable, we also demonstrate connecting with an Aquabus cable.
So to
and
speak
power
about that,
supply.
Paul, we do have the video when we did launch, and there's been a couple of videos since then where we've demonstrated different things with the Trident.
Right.
So I encourage you to go out, whether you're on Facebook or on YouTube, and look at one of those recorded
Right. So
videos.
when you open up the Trident, the first thing you're going to see, I wish I had the card here, I don't, but you'll see a card. It's very nicely done. And in that card, it will say, do not plug this in. And that is very important. Don't plug it in. It says the first thing to do is go to your Apex Fusion account, click on the task icon. It then shows an image of the task icon. The task icon is your friend. You should always use the task icon. And then go to Trident installation. Select that. You and video are going to spend about 10 minutes together going through how to make all the connections, how to get everything to go. And then
It's all in the app. All the videos are in the app,
Yeah.
so you don't have to leave the app to
Yes.
see the videos.
Finally, you'll just plug it in, and then moments later, you'll start getting testing happening. And 20 minutes after that, you're going to have your first calcium alkalinity test.
Excellent, excellent. All right, so what have we left out, Paul? Do we have anything else on
see
our
here.
list here that we're supposed to make sure that we hit?
We didn't. Well, can go there.
There's a couple of other topics to discuss, right? Which is, okay, so this looks like a pretty complicated piece of equipment, which it is, but it's simplified for the user. If we have an issue with our Trident after we buy it, what's the process that we go through, since this is in a completely different land?
Right. So as always, whenever you have a problem with a Neptune Systems product, you contact Neptune Systems about that. Okay. We do offer international support. The international support will start via email. Okay. And if we need to get a call scheduled with you, we will. And we can attend to that pretty quickly, typically as well. Your night is typically our day, so it's typically in your favor.
Right.
Further in that, it's easy to get Neptune Systems help by just going to neptunesystems.com/get help.
Okay.
Right? That'll take you right to the place you need to go. Now, when you start working with our support team, at a point they may need to say, you need to speak to someone in your local language. You may need to, we may need to schedule a call with you to work through some issues that your Trident may be experiencing, and that's something our team is very familiar with here in the U.S., and we take great care of our customers in the U.S. If there is a hardware issue,
Sometimes
right?
we get kind of confused with the British people, so we have to get somebody speaking in their own language.
No, Terence, come on. If localized support, all right. Now, I don't speak French. Do you speak French?
No, I understand.
Right,
but I speak Spanish.
I know. I didn't use that as an example. But our international dealers are going to be there to assist you in that.
Okay.
If there is a hardware issue, at that point, Neptune Systems will say this is a hardware problem, or you do need replacement reagents, or you do need this, or you need that. At that point, our international distributor, DeYoung Marine Life in the EU, UK, Aqua Depot in the AU, and then very many other places is going to step in and send you that replacement part. Okay?
Right.
The only comment there is, if you are familiar with the EU market, UK market, DeYoung Marine Life is located in the Netherlands.
Right.
Right. As a result of being in the Netherlands, how are you going to get taken care of? Don't worry, we have that set up and taken care of. There's a UK agent that will assist you.
Yeah,
if
you don't have to worry about paying post both ways and all the costs and everything. So just put that out of mind. Don't worry about that. And the question came up. How does it work without the one link again? Do I get all the features? Is it going to be the same?
The only difference is, instead of one cable, Like you have in the US, you use 2 cables. There is no feature loss or anything like that as a result of that. Some of our US customers need to actually use the Aquabus one-link port, the Aquabus power supply, because they have a bunch of waves.
Yeah, I was going to say they've
know?
run out of one-link connections themselves.
And if you have a one-link module because you've got a one-link starter kit or that's something you wanted to invest in, that one-link module is going to work perfectly, and you can buy a separate one-link module there from your dealer, and that'll take care of it.
Yeah, and if you buy a wave starter kit, for instance, overseas, which are available, it comes with the one-link module. It comes with 2 wave pumps, and so there is 1 port available. So if you didn't want to run the power supply and the Aquabus cable, and you wanted to get rid of those out of your stand, then you could buy the one-link cable and plug that in.
No problem.
Yeah,
and as soon as and you don't have to set it up again or anything like that. The Apex sees it exactly the same.
All right, so Scottish Reefer says, just got mine ordered. I was on the wait list. Mine arrives Tuesday. Well, congratulations,
awesome.
man.
That is awesome.
Super awesome. I really appreciate all you guys joining us, too. We got a pretty good group here and a lot of people from overseas.
It's early here in the U.S. It's 9 a.m. I think this is the earliest we've ever done a live stream.
Yep.
But it's, it's 6 p.m. then.
Yeah, we've already been here a number of hours, but yes. And, we got, customers from all over. A little shout out for Thomas from DeYoung. Thomas DeYoung, family business over there. What a great business they have, and amazing facility. If you're a reseller in Europe, in the UK, and you're hearing this and you're seeing this, you're like, I want to get involved with Neptune Systems product. DeYoung Marine Life is there to step in and assist you. Reach out to their wholesale department. Not only are you going to get some great dry goods, you'll also have the opportunity to get some awesome livestock. Yeah, amazing. And hey, look at this. This is pretty cool. We've got Tim Allen here. Tim Allen is here on our live stream. Well, Tim, I don't know that one's going to magically apply or arrive on your doorstep, but they are available. Let's see. I don't know if there's any other questions. If you guys have other questions, well, we can take a couple more minutes and take some questions on this. Tim Hawkins says he has one. Best thing for my tank. Shout out to Paul from Steve Myers.
Reef Plus, Chicago, Illinois.
So that's cool. We've got Derek Picker on here from Reef Automation. He says he just woke up. A live stream would not be complete.
It wouldn't be complete. Would not
be complete without somebody saying, "What about a new 220 power
bar?"
I
commented on it. I said, "We hear you."
I know.
Maybe.
I know.
Right? So we hear you.
And Ricardo Calvo from Costa Rica is here. He said he loves the products and the Trident. They are in North America, obviously, and doing well. So. Anyway, guys, that's it to wrap it up. So they are going to be available in Europe here tomorrow.
Yes.
So you can get one. They will be just under 750 euros.
Yeah, euros.
And they will be £695 sterling. That includes the VAT. And you can you'll get support the normal ways that you get support from Neptune. It'll come with a power supply and an Aquabus cable instead of a one-link cable.
You got it.
Reagents are readily available as well.
Tridents will be in high demand.
Yes.
Okay.
They will be hard to get probably.
It's no different than what we have here in the U.S. right now. We're constantly building more, right, Terence?
Absolutely. One last thing that we will discuss, because it does come up all the time, and I didn't see it there yet, is will there be maintenance on the Trident?
Yes.
Okay, so we didn't cover that yet. So when we launched the Trident, one of the interesting things with any device that has electromechanical parts, which
and there are parts in this. There are solenoids. There are pumps.
Correct.
There's tubing.
So but even your basic dosing pump that you have, even without a testing machine, but all the testing machines that I know of use some form of a electromechanical stuff like a dosing pump. Every single one of them has to have some form of maintenance on them to keep them running. And a piece of test equipment is even more so, because it's things are constantly moving in it, and you're using it all the time, but it also has to stay in calibration, and you want it to stay as accurate as it possibly can be.
Yes.
So when we came out with the Trident, rather than have people kind of be surprised with this notion,
we didn't want,
which they have been with some other products, by the way.
Yes, it's like, I have to do something with this?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. And so we came up with what we thought was an appropriate interval for a kind of a a small refit of parts that we thought would wear out inside
Yes.
at 18 to 24 months.
That's what we estimated.
That's what we estimated, and we've had some running well over 18 months now.
Well, we have some even running on accelerated cycles. You know,
That's true.
One of the Tridents on my tank has been consistently running double time since I believe November of 2018, right? It's been running consistently double time since that time, and you know that's so it's essentially what that's almost 3 years at this point.
Yeah,
of running time.
Yeah. You add it all up, and I mean there's cycle time on parts, and then there's also environmental things that occur as well. But regardless, what we told people was as we get close to what we think is that interval.
Yeah.
We're going to be coming up with ways for this to be taken care of, both
Yes.
ways that we'll take care of, ways that our distributors will take care of on our behalf,
Yes.
and then a do-it-yourself methodology to do it.
Right.
And so in the not-too-distant future, we'll be announcing those things with more detail.
More detail.
But what we said at the
it's
time...
coming together.
Yeah, what we said at the time is if you want to have a method where you could send it in, it's going to be under $200, okay? And if you want to do it yourself, the parts that would be included are less than $100.
Yes, and we are still meeting that goal.
Yep.
And more information will become available. I mean, I hope that we projected appropriately on the 18 to 24 months. You know, I think it's out there in the world. We'll see. You know, we'll see like when Tridents actually need that, but it's coming.
Yep.
So.
And so once again, it was asked. The release date officially is tomorrow, and they are at many of the stores, I believe, already. So make your calls. Get your reservations in.
I
yeah.
just thought of something we didn't mention.
Oh, what did we not talk about?
Apex Classic.
Oh yeah, we
Yeah.
didn't. We just take that for granted now, don't we?
Yeah, it's been so long, right? So in one caveat regarding the Trident.
Yes.
It does not work with an Apex Classic system. Terrence is getting props for me right now. The Apex Classic system is this familiar black rectangular device. Okay, this is an Apex Classic. We sold this in the EU, UK, all over the world for many years. I think 3 or 4 years before the new Apex came out.
Right.
The new Apex is entered. Boom, is this guy. This is the new Apex. So you do need a new Apex or Apex EL, okay, to be able to run the Trident.
Yes, either one, Apex or Apex
will not work
EL.
on this guy. And this is not some grand scheme of Neptune systems to make you get here. It's that this guy is old. He cannot handle this guy. This guy is maxed out. There's no more room for this guy. Okay, this is before your iPhone. Before your iPhone, this thing was developed. This was released in 2016.
Correct.
So you will need to make sure that you have a new Apex system. You can purchase those just head unit. You can purchase those as a system. You can do anything that you need to be able to make sure you're running one of these units to run the Trident.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, I don't know if we missed anything else.
I know. I was like, the last moment, I'm like, oh my gosh, what did I forget?
I told Paul, I'm like, yeah, we'll get that done in 10 to 15 minutes, that quick little announcement. Well, it was going to go to a half an hour or something like that. But I think we've got one person, we're going to just talk about one piece of Trident trivia, okay? Because somebody sees this and they don't know. Jay Fouché says, if I can get his thing on there, Jay Fouché says, bring back Trident R2D2.
Yes.
So for those that don't know, when it originally came out, it actually made sounds every time it was testing. It was like, I think we did a pretty good job, right?
Yes, and and some people found that terribly annoying.
Yes.
Some people found it endearing.
I was just going to use the same word.
Some people didn't have an opinion.
But a lot of people, more than we thought, would have an opinion. Had an opinion after we tweaked the software, so it would no longer make that sound.
They found it endearing.
Yes.
was the verdict. But we have tried to make that as silent as possible. There is a motor inside, so it does make a little bit of noise, but it shouldn't be louder than your skimmer or anything else for that matter.
All right, I think that's it, Paul. I think we're going to wrap it up, man. So this is a good one. We'll have another Let's Talk Reef in a couple of weeks, a week from next Tuesday.
Yep.
And maybe we'll do something else next week. So stay tuned. If you haven't already, make sure that you subscribe to our channel on YouTube, that you like our Facebook page, and set yourself for the alerts, because you never know when I'm going to, hit the Let's Go Live button on here.
And have some good information.
And have some good information, or who knows, maybe we'll be giving something away. You
Yep.
know, it's about time for us to start giving stuff away again.